Word up. A 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And in the words of the ubiquitous YADABEAR, it must be
Tuesday.
And you know that, we're in the building down in Sports Talk. We're in the house down in Sports Talk. We are in the house. I repeat, down in Sports Talk. We are in the house. I am left-handed at RM Desk on Twitter. You know the vibes. That's my Code D in the house right there. And you know her as Yada Bear. Don't get it twisted. And who's that ringing on the doorbell? Okay, we got the superstars in the building. Okay, we got the superstars in the building.
Look who
Live
it
and
is.
direct from the Midwest.
There you go.
I did a Mac Millie Midwest. Windwalkers in the house. What's good with you, famo?
What's up with it? What's good? What's good?
Everything's everything, man. We in the building.
Yes.
Before we came on, shout out to everybody that rock out. Shout out to the big homie Star. Salute.
Yes.
Before we get started, man, we and Yada Bear was talking, man, having a dope conversation. And again, I say it every chance I get, man. This one over here, she might like the wrong teams and all that, but she brings a whole lot of dopeness to the table when they talk about these sports topics, man. And we was talking behind the scenes, and she put me on the game. So, Browski, what's good? Let's get into it. You already know the vibes. Let's set it off. What we doing?
Yeah, so as you state, we was talking behind the scenes because I came across where MLB stated that they're going to incorporate the Negro League stats into MLB history, which now is going to change Major League Baseball history, where Josh Gibson, will be the number one player in MLB history. So he's going to push Babe Ruth out the way and take over that number one spot. I mean, this has been a long time coming. I believe the stats should have always been included, with these players. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of haters. There's going to be a lot of hatred, especially from these old school.
Like, listen. That's not even the we talked about the home run thing.
Yeah.
Ted Williams in that 400 batting average.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Gibson's gonna knock that out the box. 466.
Yeah.
What's messing with that?
And as we stated, they were saying that Josh Gibson basically hit almost 800 home runs. He played about 16 seasons and hit almost 800 home runs. So if we look at him and Babe Ruth stats, Josh Gibson was hitting like 374. That was his batting average. I believe Babe Ruth was around like 354, 34, somewhere around that. So that he already took over that. Josh Gibson had a higher on base percentage. And like I said, the home runs alone. We all know that home runs lead. The talk about baseball. To be a successful baseball player is basically equals how many home runs you can hit. All our big time players, we talk about the Aaron Judge, we talk about the Mookie Betts, the Bryce Harpers, those guys. And when we talk about these players, we bring up home runs, how many home runs these guys can hit. So to have a guy and Josh Gibson to come into the scene now with almost 800 home runs, it's gonna blow these guys' minds, and we're gonna have an ongoing debate about one, if the stats are true. And as me and Left was talking behind the scenes, he made a great point saying that we have people still around who can account for those home runs by Josh Gibson.
Absolutely. Tell stories
we
about
still have those elders around that will tell stories about Josh Gibson, the Jackie Robinsons, the Hank Aarons, those guys that we, wasn't really privileged to see with our own eyes.
That's right.
So we still have people who was there in those seats cheering on and can say, yes, Josh Gibson hit damn near 800 home runs. So I want to see how they're going to try to, discount that. Like I said, it's going to be an ongoing debate, especially from, the old school.
And it's their fault.
Yeah, and it's especially these baseball reporters. I'm saying baseball writers are some of the most. They are like the biggest haters ever. It's you would think that they hate the sport as much as they always have throw a negative wrench, when they're writing up stories about baseball. Like these writers are ridiculous, and I just can't wait to see the blowback, what's going to happen, once all these stats, goes in there. Because just think about how many strikeouts did Satchel Paige had.
I mean, like I don't want to dwell on it, but I think that it's something good, and the conversation is gonna be carried by them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I said, back behind the scenes, like we'll be able to see, you know what I mean, who, who's gonna come out against it, who's gonna try to, talk down on it and things of that nature, which you really can't, because these are true and living statistics and real numbers, you know what I'm saying? So now they finally get their just due. I don't really think there should be any conversation or pushback. Really. You reap what you sow. This is what you get. You know what I mean? So you were scared of it, and that after the fact, it's come to fruition that Josh Gibson is the all-time, the highest batting average, 372. You know what I mean? Babe Ruth, you could take Babe Ruth for his 366, and you can go with that. But Josh Gibson, 372 is the all-time, according to MLB.
According to MLB, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. We in the building, man. Tuesday night vibes. We got Windwalker in the house. YADABEAR in the building, of course, as usual. Yo, I'm gonna say something. Bill Walton passed away, man. And I just thought that it would be cool if talked about him for a second, because I think that the newer generation got to see Bill Walton after the fact, the broadcasting the games and things of that nature. Being that, and that's who he is or was, you know what I mean. You wanted to Bill Walton to do your game, because Bill Walton was off the hook. Bill Walton talking about everything from medieval astronomy to the Wu-Tang Clan. He was on it.
Yeah, he was well versed. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well rounded.
But like back in the day, like when he was playing ball, like UCLA, a little bit before my time, UCLA. I was there when like he was, the Portland Trailblazers, when they beat Dr. J and them in the finals, right? In 6 games.
The headband.
We got the headband. Then he got, he was getting hurt all the time. He's the first dude I remember that stayed hurt all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. He went to the Clippers. He played for them for a minute. You know what I mean? He revived his career. You know what I mean? Did this thing in Boston. You know what I mean? With Larry Bird and all that. So I think that Bill Walton is a dude that basketball is better to have had a dude like Bill Walton. I mean, you got a lot of characters in every sport. You know what I mean? Please don't get me started on World Be Free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me started on him. But again, Bill Walton was one of those dudes, man. He was very entertaining, man. Of course, he indulged in the ganja. You know what I mean? Salute the big Grateful Deadhead. You know what I mean? All that. So salute to him.
Over 1,000 concerts.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw a couple words in there. If you got something that you wanted to add on, feel free.
One thing I'll say about Bill Walton, he definitely made NBA games a lot better.
Yeah.
You knew you was going to get a good call when you had Bill Walton, calling the games. Very knowledgeable.
He just got in the game.
Yeah, just hearing the voice, it's just certain people, like when you hear, calling games, it's like, oh yeah, this, get you in the game. This game gonna be good. It always kept you entertained. It's just, sad to see him go.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wayne. If you're gonna throw in something, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Bill Walton, he was a colorful guy, even when he played basketball. It's like he was a colorful commentator. he played with a bunch of different teams. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
remember that he went to the Utah Jazz and played them, and him and somebody got into it, and it was funny. It was real funny the way that, because he was the headband guy, and dude knocked his
Yeah.
headband off. He was the first one I seen rocking the headband the way he rocked the headband. You know, he the one made it stylistic. You know what I'm saying? When he played with the Clippers, he just did that. You know, that was just for show. But when he really wanted to get down, I think it was when he was playing with Boston and Portland. Portland was the two teams he really got down with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Them was the teams, and he was
I
cool.
mean, Portland was first when he came out of
Yeah,
school.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I
But I'm
mean?
saying, yeah,
And then when he got hurt, it was all messed up when he got hurt. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He played 4 years at UCLA. You know what I'm saying?
Two
He
chips.
did this thing, did this thing with Portland, got a ring, stayed hurt. You know what I mean? He was the Finals MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, he had an excellent career, man. He held out for more money, which was bugged out, but you see what happened. But yeah, man, I don't think that basketball would be worse off without Bill Walton. I think it's a better place that we had a guy like Bill Walton and his contributions. And I just wanted to acknowledge him, man, and
Yeah.
respect him, man, because he gets that over here. Speaking of the Boston Celtics, right?
Yes. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
moved on to the NBA Finals. They're waiting for an opponent, which they might find out later on tonight because the Minnesota Timberwolves and Dallas Mavericks get it on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at in that series, Bowski? I know it's 3-0. When you want to talk about what Boston dismantled Indiana, I said that Boston was going to get them in 5, and that was being nice.
You was being real nice, but I knew it was gonna get them guys out in 4, especially once Halliburton went down. I said it's a wrap. Um, Boston, they had an easy path to the finals. You know, you didn't have to play Giannis, didn't have to play the Knicks, you didn't have to play the Sixers, didn't have to play the Heat. We stated at the beginning of the playoffs that in the East, whoever's the healthiest was going to come out of the East, and at the end, it was Boston. You know,
Even
they
though
did.
Porzingis,
They
even though they're missing
even
Porzingis.
Porzingis was out, but look at the teams they played. You know, they didn't need Porzingis. You know,
Yeah,
he's
that's
the
right.
first 2 series 4-1, 4-1, and then a sweep. You know, it was a cakewalk. And then you have Jaylen Brown winning the Eastern Conference MVP,
Mm-hmm.
which was well deserved. He actually, really has been showing up in this playoffs. He's playing up to that 300 million contract. He's actually um, been the leader of the team this whole postseason. When we talk about the Celtics, we always throw in Jason Tatum first, but truthfully, it's Jaylen Brown. He's a two-way player. He will shut you down and then score 40 points, as we've seen him do several times, in this postseason. And right now, Boston just waiting for Dallas. I stated here on this show, and we asked about dark horses. I said, listen, that Dallas Mavericks team is the one to look out for. And now
You say that.
they up 3-0 against the Timberwolves that look like pups out there. Once again, Cat, where are you at, dude? This is the Western Conference Finals, and you are bench. He was sitting on the bench during crucial minutes, watching Luka put Rudy Gobert on skates.
Destroy his team. Right.
Okay, he had, it was the slowest crossover in the world, and Rudy Gobert, you would throw Rudy Gobert was standing on a patch of ice. He had that man skating around the court, hit that game winning 3, and it's over. Once they won that game 2, I said the series is done. I said, because what the Timberwolves going to do in Dallas? The next 2 games was in Dallas, and then game 3, they came out, Kyrie and Luke with 33 points. And Edwards, he talked all that trash. He put his mouth. Look, he talked all that trash. Oh, I'm gonna be guarding Kyrie. Said, why would you put a spark under Kyrie? He had a very mid series against OKC, and now you talking trash to Kyrie like that's not Uncle Drew. Like they forgot who he was.
He gonna put the moccasins on, boy, and
once he put the moccasins on, he rain danced all over them guys. Okay, it was a rain dance out there.
Rain dance.
So I don't know what Minnesota expect to do tonight. To me, I feel like Dallas may close it out. Minnesota's at the point where it's not a matter of if it's a matter of when this series is going to be over, and I'm just hoping that it's over tonight. It's going to be a little bit more difficult because Lavi is out. He's not playing. He got hurt in game 3, so he's out. So if they're able to bounce back and get these guys out of here without him, I'll be impressed. I can't wait to see it. How y'all feel about this game?
I think that the Timberwolves are going through what all teams that are on the cusp go through. You got to lose before you win in the NBA, especially, and they going through it. Oklahoma City went through it this year. You know what I mean? I would say more or less the Knicks went through it. But in the case of the Minnesota Timberwolves, they showed improved all season long that they belong. But when you run up against a team that's just ready and have guys that can really contribute outside of the two superstar guys, the PJ Washingtons, the Derek Lively's of the world, you know what I mean? Then you're really up against it. So again, I think the Timberwolves will be back. They'll be back better. Again, you got to lose before you win. Will they win tonight? If they do, it's like, so what? You just delaying the inevitable. You know what I mean? So again, it's like, you want to play for pride, or you just want to, I don't know if you made what time your reservations are for Thursday or whatever, but it's up that's all you. How you doing it? Dope and dog food. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Wayne. What's your thoughts on game 4 tonight?
Most likely it'll probably be over. But I just want to put this point down. Ant Edwards, he made all those comments about if he would have played in Jordan era, he would have shut Jordan down and did this. Well, you got to think about Kyrie. He's a student of Kobe. And Kobe he never lets people live stuff down. If the Lakers would have traded Kobe, he would have went after any team that traded him, like the Lakers or whoever else. Now, see, Kyrie, he's going after whoever. So he gonna make it to the playoffs, and he want to play Boston, and he's gonna make Boston pay. Plus, they the new Batman and Robin, as they say. Luka and Kyrie are the new Batman and Robin. Plus, the Minnesota, they ain't got enough firepower right now. Like you said, the two bigs ain't showing up. They getting showed out. He's doing Uncle Drew moves on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
but what about those dudes? What about those dudes when they was running Phoenix off the court? The McDaniels and those cats, where they go?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When? Like, and again, it's
everybody got to show up.
It's a tale of two teams. Like, you talk about Minnesota, you say, okay, they look so good in the previous series, and they run up against the wall, they look crazy. Just like the Indiana Pacers. They was doing their thing against us. You know what I mean? But up against the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics got them out of here quick, fast, in a hurry. No problem.
No problem.
Even though they were in the games. They were in those games. They just gave them up then.
Yeah.
Game one, after game one, I said, Browski, after game one, I said, it's a wrap. The way they gave it up, it's a wrap.
Like last night, they gave that game up.
Yeah,
they gave up every game in that series. Every game they gave up.
So, where you at with the Dallas and Mavericks and Boston Celtics finals, Browski?
Oh man, that's going to be a fun watch, and I have to go with Dallas. I gotta go with Dallas. Like Gwen said, this is right now. We are now in the middle of a Kyrie Irving revenge tour. And Boston. Now that he know that Boston, it is in the finals, Kyrie gonna make sure to get there. For everybody who's all into the analytics and into the stats, Kyrie is undefeated in closeout games. This is closeout game.
Closeout game.
And I feel like he's going to make sure, and he's going to close these guys out because we talk about how.
I wonder what Karl Anthony Towns' record is in a closeout game.
Well,
I'm sorry.
But the one that I would say, we talk about how inexperienced, and how young the Minnesota Timberwolves are. I will also say that you don't want to prolong this series. You want to close it out today. You don't want to give them hope, and you also want to give Luka as much time to rest because he's dealing with injuries.
That's important too. Absolutely.
Knee, ankle, back, like he's dealing with lingering injuries, and like we say, the healthiest team is going to be the one standing there holding, the trophy. So for Dallas to really complete this whole journey, they gotta close out tonight. Luka gotta be able to rest, and it should be a fun series. And I would say Dallas in probably 7, depending on if Porzingis is back and available. Because truthfully, if he, was right, he should have been played in Game 4 of the Indiana Pacers series. Because it's going to be a little difficult to bring him back into the fold during the finals. For him to try to find a spot, on a finals team that has been winning without you. So I feel like it's a little bit more to the injury, and this is Porzingis, MO. And he's probably looking at it as maybe trying to get revenge on Dallas because they sent him to Washington to be forgotten. The Washington Wizards, that's a team you send a player there and they're forgotten. And that's the place that Dallas sent him. So he could be looking at this as his revenge, against Dallas. But truthfully, how hurt is this guy? Like, how injured is Porzingis? And they're really keeping a tight lip on it. So that's one thing to look out for. So if he's on the floor, I say, they probably go to 7. If not, 6.
The Rangers just scored 1-0 against Florida Panthers, game 4. Yeah, man. If Dallas can handle their business and close it out, I think it's going to be a great series. They're definitely going to give these these sports hype people a lot to talk about. A lot to pontificate on. With Kyrie.
They're going to be
you'll see the highlights of Kyrie with the stage at the Garden, and you'll see all that. You know what I mean? I think that you just give these cats a lot of talking points. But when it comes to what goes on the floor, we talk about Jaylen Brown, being a two-way player. He's definitely gonna have to show and prove on that end against a guy like Kyrie Irving. When you talk about Jason Tatum. Is he going to let Luka Doncic come in and steal his shine, and vice versa. You know what I mean? You talk about the coaching matchup. Joe Mazzulla, like everybody was like, "Word, Joe Mazzulla." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he has his team, in the finals against a Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That chess match is going to be crazy. A lot of people say that Jason Kidd is going to, really outcoach Joe Mazzulla, but Joe Mazzulla didn't get here by a fluke. You know what I mean? I think that you're going to have moments in the Boston Dallas series where the bad Dallas shows up and the bad Boston will show up. It's going to be a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the X factor? Where's Al Horford fit into that mix?
I mean, I feel like the X factor, especially for Dallas, is going to be for the others to show up, like the Tim Hardaway Jr., where he's had a very quiet series so far too. Like, where's Tim Hardaway Jr.? PJ Washington. I'm gonna need PJ. I need him to show up a little bit more. Like, and then you look on the Boston side, it's like these defensive assignments is going to be crazy because who's going to guard Luka and who's going to guard Kyrie? You got Drew Holiday. So is Drew going to be on Kyrie or he going to be on Luka? Is Jalen going to be on Luka or he going to be on Kyrie? It's the matchups is going to be wow. And is Derek White going to show? Because Derek White, he was balling in the beginning. He was balling against the Cleveland series, but when it came to the Pacers, he kind of fell off a little bit. He
made the shot. You know what I mean?
But he was balling in those other two sets, like against the Pacers.
Those guys are gonna have their moments.
Yeah, he had a mid series. So it's gonna be interesting to see that, and like you said, Al Horford. But the main, like everybody's eyes is going to be on. I feel like Porzingis coming back, and how the rotation is going to be for the Celtics, and to see if Joe Mazzulla, learn from his experience, because it's going to be his second finals that he coached in. So he got out coached, with Steve Kerr and the Warriors. He didn't, there's certain things that he should have swapped out that he didn't do. It was certain times where he should have called a key timeout and he didn't call those timeouts. So, that's another thing to watch for. So hopefully, he take those experience, because Jason Kidd is a very experienced coach, and he's been in his position as a player for dollars. So he knows
he still think he out there on the floor.
That's how he coached sometimes. He coached like he's out there playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that could be an advantage for Dallas, because you have a coach who still have a player mindset, but on the sideline, and you got two guys who plays your position and plays it well. So should be good.
I got a question, and this is the question of the day for me. Do y'all feel that the NBA is turning more European?
The NBA it's
go
ahead.
The finals. You think the European players are taking over at this point in time? For the past few years, it's been what? Help me out, bro.
Yeah.
It's been Joker.
It's been Giannis.
Giannis.
Well, I mean, that's a conversation that we had, earlier in the season, where we were talking about college basketball and how, there was no real A+ talent in the NCAA, and how like the men, how we talk about how the men's tournament and even like during the regular season had fell off versus the women's side. And when you look at the potential draft, yes, I would say, the Europeans are coming over and they are dominating the NBA. The last 4 MVPs has been not an American-based player. Joker got 3, Embiid has 1, Giannis have 1. It's
what's the other dude name? Hero?
Tyler Hero.
Hero, yeah, he
I
can.
mean, it's
You know,
yeah.
he's coming up.
I would say that it has become more of a European centric league, but that's how the gameplay is also playing too. There's no everybody shooting threes. There's a lot of jump shooting. You know, nobody really. There's no real, dunkers. There's nobody on the block. You know, it's no physicality. You know, back to the basket playing because the league has changed and it's more of a you see a lot of the Euro League in the NBA because of those players coming over.
And they
Even
market the game. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So of course they're gonna want to see their guys. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's been like even way before like Dirk Nowitzki and Yao Ming and all of that. You know what I mean? So it's always been a thing where they try to incorporate that into the game as far as taking over. Hey man, listen, it is what it is. Every team
I
has
feel
has that guy. And
well.
those guys right now, the faces of the league. They're young
Yeah,
guys too.
that's true, and also if you notice that most of these teams that is extremely successful has at least one or two Euro guys on the team, or you're looking for that one guy. Who was
Sayaka,
one of the hot guys during the trade deadline? Bogdanovich, because you need you want a Euro guy who can spread the court and shoot a three, and that's what those type of guys are set up to do. Um, before we only had a couple of your guys. We had Pedro Stojakovic, the Tony
Mm-hmm,
Kukoc,
mm-hmm,
Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. You had a handful to sprinkle out
And
throughout
let
the
me
league.
not to cut your wisdom, Browski. They're fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
When you talk about like a guy like a Tony Parker, and he's not going to be celebrated the way that he should be,
Mhm.
right? Because he's fundamentally sound. Or Manu Ginobili,
Mhm.
fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
These guys, they play that ball over there, and again, they wanted the world to catch up. But the world is caught up, and the world is like really kind of like passing
They
the
kind
United
of
States by.
they kind of surpassed them.
To tell you the
And
truth,
now we have what Victor Wembanyama,
yeah,
who's
Wembanyama.
the future of the
of the
league,
league.
and he's from France.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an
Mm-hmm.
American born player. You have another guy in SGA. He's Canadian.
Right,
You know,
right.
Mm-hmm.
it's
His
and when
teammate.
we look at these American born players, they always have issues with the other stuff.
Yeah.
None of these foreign born players that we mentioned have we heard any type of real controversy about them.
Mm-mm.
Them
Except
going
Giddey.
out doing crazy stuff.
Except
You know,
Josh Giddey.
but Josh
Giddy's,
Giddey's not on that level. We talking about like
yeah.
superstars. You know,
Yeah, but he's from Australia, so
yeah, but he's not on that. He ain't on that level. I'm talking about guys like Joker and Giannis and Joel. Like you hear nothing.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, but
He's
but then when
Canadian.
we but then when we talk about American born players, they got rap sheets. We talk about John Morant, young guy.
And
You
they
know,
got literal rap sheets. Damian
yeah,
Lillard.
controversy. Soon you put controversy there. Even guys like Kyrie, it's always
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. And you just reminded me.
It's
Yep, absolutely.
it's
That's right.
always
Let's go.
something.
Yeah.
We talk about
Mm-hmm.
KD. He always has
Mm-hmm.
something. It might not be something big, but it's always something like nutty, like Twitter stuff. Like it's always something. LeBron always have something. It's crazy, but yeah, the Europeans
the
are
discipline.
taking over the NBA. They are
The
now the
dis-
face of
Mhm.
a sport that was made in America by by a Canadian,
Mhm.
which
Can
is
you dig it?
ironic.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
But
Down in
yeah,
Sports Talk in the building, man. Browski's is on one tonight, man. You know what I mean? Make sure you check us out, man, on YouTube and all that. Yeah, man. So who you got winning the finals, man, real quick?
Dallas in 7.
there you go.
All right. again, I kind of want to have faith in Boston, but again, we're still at the point with the Boston Celtics is, which Celtics team is going to show up. They got it together allegedly against Indiana Pacers. We was coming off a 7-game series.
Yeah.
But their guys still played well. Salute Andrew Nemhard, and salute that squad. Halliburton was out, like Browski said earlier.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna have to rock with y'all. I like to see a lot of these, so-called pundits and analysts and so-called sports heads eat crow, man.
Yeah.
And let Kyrie get. Kyrie gets another one, man. You know what I mean? Luka Doncic, solidifies his status as, that dude. You know what I mean? And has his ring. Jason Kidd gets his as a coach. You know what I mean? But I think the more important part would be, and the story would be, Kyrie Irving did it without LeBron, Durant, James Harden, Steve Nash. He did it without none of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I'm interested. I'm going to be rooting for Kyrie Irving because I always did. That's why I stick my chest out, man. Because a lot of these cats can't say that. A lot of these cats, they went for the okie doke, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. I don't want to dwell on it right now, but I think that Dallas is gonna win. Boston, will give them a good show. Jason Kidd is definitely gonna outcoach Joe Mazzulla. You know what I mean? Regardless, it'll happen again. We saw this before when they played in the finals a couple years back against Golden State. We got a fight coming up, June the 15th. Tank versus Frank.
Tank Frank.
Tank versus Frank. June 15th. Who you got?
Oh, I gotta rock my man Tank all day. And I like Frank. It's in Washington.
I said, "Ain't Mr. Washington."
Oh, ain't Mr. Washington. Yeah, I gotta rock. I gotta rock with Tank.
Excuse me.
I think he's gonna come out here and he's gonna remind people, which I don't understand why anybody would forgot that Tank is the man. And Frank ain't no scrub, but I don't think he's ready for Tank. I feel like he's rushing. He's trying to get to that spot, and he feel like he's ready for the spotlight, because this is the spotlight right here. And you won't be on the island with Tank alone, and that's not a fun place to be. As Ryan Garcia, as Rolly Romero, ask these guys, how fun it is to get in that ring with Tank, and I gotta go with Tank. I think Tank gonna get it done.
Go ahead, Wayne, real quick. What you got?
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give it to Tank, and Mr. Frank, you're gonna get knocked out the box, and your career, you're gonna be gone just like the Pac-12 is over. You gonna be I just want to say that. Hey, send your letters to me. It's crazy.
He's talking greasy too. Look at him. He's talking
100 years, and y'all gonna disband my Pac-12. But
listen,
hey, and I'm out of here. I'll holler at y'all next Tuesday.
Listen, man. I think that Tank even said it himself. He's been going through a lot. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to take it out on Frank Martin. Frank Martin is no slouch, but like I said, this is a step up level. And we'll get into that a little bit more next week. But Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh no. Let's get it cracking. Now, in my understanding of these samples that you got to give, you know what I mean, pre, post fight, whatever. Your A and B sample come from the same sample.
Who would have thought?
I'm gonna say, hold on, big bro. I'm gonna say this again. Your A and B sample come from the same sample. You follow? Boom. He does the thing. He gives a sample. Deck the A joint. Oh, we have a winner. We have a winner. He's burning for whatever kind of situation he got that he wasn't supposed to do. Oh, okay. I didn't do it. Okay, that's fine. That's why we give you a B sample. Come from the same sample now, the A and the B, right? The B sample, making everybody wait. Oh, we're gonna test the B sample. Mm-hmm. Now, in my humble opinion, and I do have about this much of common sense, if the A and the B sample came from the same original sample, and the A sample is tainted, well, I'll say tainted. What makes you think the B sample not going to be tainted? I'm not understanding. So for me, and D-Day came down that the B sample was tainted, just like we thought. I don't like that in the game and in the sport of boxing. I don't like that at all. I think Ryan Garcia should be eliminated. He should not even be allowed to participate in the sport of boxing. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't respect it. He doesn't respect his opponents. He doesn't respect the game. He doesn't respect the legacy. He doesn't respect the people who came before him. For me, I think that it's a clear case of this dude just wanting to have clicks and likes and go out on the street and say, oh, I got more likes than you. That means I'm better than you. No. You calling out Tank, talk about you want a rematch. Man, relax. Fall back. I got no respect. We knew that the B sample was going to come. Valsky, help me out here. Windwalker, help me out. I'm trying to figure this out, man.
Listen, I've been saying this for a minute about Ryan Garcia. I think he's a clown. I think Ryan Garcia is now on the path of being the next Adrian Broner. You know, talented, but don't have the work effort and don't want to work on his craft to be.
But when did Adrian Broner try to cheat?
Well, I'm not like.
No, I know what you're saying.
But not on the cheating line, but like you said, like you said, not
the nonsense and
the nonsense. Worrying about what's going on the internet, you know, just not respecting
being a fool in the crowd
of boxing. I totally agree with Devin Haney's dad that this should be the decision should be thrown out. They should void it out, and I feel like he should be suspended.
Absolutely.
I feel like
this reminds me of the Antonio Margarito joint.
Yeah,
when he fought Cotto and beat Cotto up, and he had the remember when he had his hands were wrapped up.
Yeah. I feel like a year of suspension should go along with it, along with a fine. But this is the path that we seen coming after he got beat by Tank, because I feel like Ryan realized that I'm not as good as these other guys. So I'm going to do everything in my power to get over. One, he came in intentionally overweight, so he missed weight.
Right.
So right there, he didn't care about winning the belts or not. And then you taking PEDs that you know you're going to get tested for. You know you're going to get tested for, and you knew that both samples was going to be tainted because, like you said, it's coming from one sample.
It's coming from one source, man.
Yeah, it's not like another source. You know,
right?
You know,
it ain't like you went on the block and got some baby PP.
Exactly.
Let's keep it green.
It's the same thing. So I just feel like he doesn't care, and I'm done with Ryan. Like I don't think he should get another fight. I feel like he should be suspended. And I feel like that victory should be voided.
Okay. Where you at with the win?
This reminds me of the time when quote unquote player said that he ate a hamburger with the little seeds on top, and that made his thing show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that, but this was a dude that hit 73 home runs in a season and blamed it on a hamburger bun. But you know, hey, Ron Garcia, you the Jake Paul to me anyway. You a joke right now. You want your money back. You want to fight somebody that's you can't beat. You know, all this, you just trying to build some credit and get some money. You trying to get some followers on TikTok and a few on Instagram and a few on Facebook. You trying to make a couple commercials. You trying to be in the limelight. You trying to be seen. You had the champ come visit you and talk to you and all this stuff. And the champ had a tiger or something with him. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let it go. Let it go. Mike Tyson, and you crazy for even endorsing that cat. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way everything is turning. Who can get the most views? Who can make the most money? That's where it's going. It's not boxing like it used to be. And to revert back to what you were saying when the show first came on, like in Major League Baseball, and you got Josh Gibson, #1 player of all time. If you revert back, who would really be the #1 boxer of all time? Who boxed over 113 rounds? See, people don't remember that. Somebody boxed for 2 days, 3 days straight.
That's a hell of
3 days straight. That's a lot of boxing, ain't it? And they got they got it on black and white. They was fighting, and the sun came up, went down, and they still fighting. And then they went to the corner, the sun went down. Yeah. So who is that?
He must have stole one of his cows or something.
Hey, your man Joe Louis.
He must have stole one of his cows. Listen, man. Yeah, man. So again, man, Ryan Garcia gets no love over here. Let's talk some baseball right now. I know basketball, but we gotta have a moment of silence for Angel Hernandez, his career. Let's have a moment of silence. Boo! You suck.
The worst umpire ever in life.
You know, I mean, you know, CB Buckner is not far behind.
I was about to say now CB Buckner is right. Now he's the worst.
We're gonna say your name over here. We're gonna say your name over here.
Yeah, now he's the worst.
CB Buckner is not. I'm expecting him to retire next.
Yeah. Well, now that Angel is out of here, he is CB Buckner is now, to me, technically the #1 worst, the worst umpire in baseball right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a ball,
dude, man. It's like I just don't understand why they even allow, you know, umpires like him to be around the game. I mean, he's the poster child for you know, sending umpires down to the minor leagues when they ain't right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I would love to see the report, you know what I mean? You know, on the percentage of calls he gets right versus the ones that, you know, get protested or challenged, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Angel Hernandez, I mean, you know, 2 or 3 calls, you know, all right, but you got a whole litany,
the whole
man.
game.
That's your claim to fame. Messed up and wrong calls.
And it's not just on one team, it's both teams coming in.
All over the league. Yeah, absolutely. So again, good riddance to Angel Hernandez.
Yeah. No love lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Where you at with your Phillies, Browski? I know you can't wait to talk about the Phillies, man.
Well, you know, right now,
look at this. Well, you know,
we are at the stage where, you know, you got to lose a couple of games. We're not going to win 162 games. Like again, the goal is not to be undefeated. I know people like, oh well, you know, they just lost a series. Oh, we lost the other. All right, but guess what? Baseball is a long season, And like I said, I'm happy that we started out hot so that when we get to these little dry spells that I don't know if we're going through one or not, but we can still maintain the league in the NL. But I got nothing to worry about my Phillies. Like I said, it's still early on. It's a long season.
Look at this.
I'm happy. Bryce Harper still heating up. Trey Turner should be coming back soon. I'm happy where my Phillies are at. I definitely want to say R.I.P. to Ronald Acuna Jr. ACL.
Right.
Once again, this is the second time. I feel like the baseball guys are turning their back on the Braves right now. Several key players, out for the season.
They're almost back right now. The Braves, Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, they have a great farm system. I mean, I'm not a full blown hater. I can, I give props where props are due. They have a great farm system, so I feel like the Braves will still be fine. They still would be, in the hunt. They're always a dangerous team because it just, next guy up.
Back to your Phillies. They was talking last week. Y'all was talking about the Phillies like they was the 2001 Mariners, right? Oh, we might win 125 games.
Oh, see, that's people who are ridiculous.
And you lost to a team dressed like a pack of Newports.
Wait a minute. I know you're not talking about us losing to a trash team like the Yankees that didn't. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. But like those people out there saying that we can win 120 games, those are crazy people. That these are guys who don't understand that baseball is a long season. Teams go through periods of slowness. You're gonna get a losing streak. It's just when and how long this losing streak gonna last. Is it gonna be 2 series? Is it gonna be 1 series? It's gonna be 3 series. Everybody goes through a dry spell.
Is it gonna be a month? Is it gonna be 2 months?
Exactly. Everybody goes through a dry spell, and it's like, well, is it gonna happen in June, July, August? The summer months are the months where you're like, June, July, we in the dry spell. We can still control our destiny at the end of the season. That's why I always said coming out the gates hot is a very impressive for the Phillies because we had the tendency of starting the season out slow. So to have the cushion that we have to go through, a dry spell right now and still maintain the lead, it's nothing to jump out the window. But yeah, when you hear people saying, "Oh, we're going to win 115 games," listen, we all know the history of teams winning over 100 games. What happened in the postseason? We have seen that plenty of times where teams win, 105, 102, and first round they at home. They get out of here early. So I'm not concerned about winning over 100 games. Only thing I'm concerned about is maintaining our league in the NL, especially in the NL East, to try to win that division. We haven't won that division in years, so it'd be nice. It'd be nice to win the division. So that's what I'm focused on. What's going on, up in the Bronx?
Up in the Bronx. Yankees doing their thing, man. Sometimes, it rains. You know what I mean? And again, I can't really jump out the window about this team. And again, it's early. Memorial Day, we passed that mark. You know what I mean? Being very competitive. All this without Garrett Cole. You know what I mean? So you have to take that into some consideration. Juan Soto and Judge and Stanton are all, contributing, which is a great thing. No DJ LeMahieu. We're in first place, which is a beautiful thing. I feel like, we just have the rest of the season in front of us. You know what I mean? We went into a bump. We bumped our head. We skinned our knee. Now let's get back up and do what we have to do. 37-18 is nothing to sneeze at. I'm looking at our road record, Browski. We're 19-10. So nice. We're going into the bottom of the ninth for a lot of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Dominating the American League Central. We got to step our game up against our division. We're only 8-8 inside the division, 7-3 in the last 10. So again, I just think that we just we rolling right now. We rolling right now. So
Yeah.
again, our next goal is to try to get to 50 wins with 37-18. So we'll see. And that's where we are. We're gonna get down on it. You know what I mean? And do what we gotta do. Cause I gotta get out of here. I got some work I gotta take care of. What we getting down on tonight, Brasky?
Man, that's it's so much. Let's get down on this Mike Tyson situation. He had a medical scare, on the plane. Some people speculating he may have had a minor stroke or some type of heart complications. And now people are questioning, if he should participate in this fight. We know Tyson, 57 years old. He's appeared to be, a healthy guy, but he's still 57 years old, going through this training camp, something that he hasn't done in decades, and I feel like that could have, put a little more strain on his body, and maybe this is something that his body is reacting to, and he just had like some type of medical, flare up. I still think if he goes to the fight, which I know he is, he's still going to beat up Jake Paul. I don't care if Tyson had 2 heart attacks on that plane. He's still going to beat Jake Paul.
2 heart attacks, a chipped tooth,
an
ingrown toenail.
Yeah, he first toe.
Toenail, right? You know what I mean?
On crutches. He's still going to beat this guy. But but like I said, he's 57, so he's in this training camp, and for me to sit here and say, wow, I'm surprised something like this happened to Tyson. No, he's 57. But people don't realize when these guys go on these training camps to prepare for fights, it's a big toll on their body, and especially for him who hasn't done it in decades. I'm pretty sure he's probably pumping vitamins, all these supplements and things like that to get him going. And
vitamins, and
their heart. You gotta be careful with what you put in your body.
Right.
And then flying. The elevation.
Right.
It could have messed with him. He just had like a little episode, but I think he'll be fine. Tyson in his afterlife will beat Jake Paul, okay? Tyson's gonna beat this guy. But yeah, that's all I got for the day.
All right. For me, I'm gonna get down on the Indiana Pacers.
Oh God.
Now, all that choking and talking and this and that y'all talked about, y'all was 60% from the field and all that good stuff right there. You won Game 7, salute. You couldn't get one game off of Boston. You couldn't get one game off of Boston Celtics. Tyrese Halliburton, you know where to be found. Andrew Nemhard, hopefully you can build on that, get you some money, Playboy, because you definitely made some. TJ O'Connell, Miles Turner. Again, you made some money. However your situation plays out. Rick Carlisle, you coached a young team. That team should be in contention for years to come.
Yeah.
But again, I ask you, you fought, you scrambled, you grinded out 4 games against a New York Knicks team that was undermanned. You know what I mean? I really don't like to say, oh, this guy was hurt, blah, blah. We lost in 7 games. Grueling games. Y'all did what y'all had to do because it could have went the other way. The Knicks could have won, but they didn't.
but you didn't represent the Eastern Conference Finals in a good way at all. You just came to show up to get that next round check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
And that to me, that's sad. You know, a lot of stuff that y'all said. You know, I mean, right now it didn't. How you say it didn't age well?
It didn't.
And again, all I know is that the Knicks would have got at least one game, maybe two, maybe three. Who knows?
I mean,
We played
Celtics
the
tried to
Celtics
give him a
tough.
game.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So on that note, we're gonna get up out of here. Game 4 is tonight. We got the Timberwolves and the Mavs doing their thing. Game 4, we're gonna bring out the brooms. Left-handed. That's YADABEAR over there. Make sure you check out YADABEAR down in Sports Talk. We're in the building, YouTube in the house. We're about to get up out of here. Y'all be peace, whatever y'all do, wherever y'all go. Next week we'll have a little bit more in depth about the Martin and Tank Davis fight.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. Rangers lead 1-0, started the second period against the Florida Panthers. Bowski don't go nowhere. All right, we'll talk to y'all next week, man. Down in Sports Talk. Make y'all hit that like and subscribe button. All right, we in the building. Get at us. You already know. Peace.